Good morning everybody, it's Charlie and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone's having a great morning so far at whatever time you are watching this. It's time for another transfer update, guys. All the latest goings on in the world of Leeds United. Just before I get into it, as always, please smash that like button. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm trying to get to 2k as soon as possible. That's my mission at the minute, and if you could really help me out with that, it would be much appreciated. And please share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. So then, we'll just start off with a brief update about Rutter from Hoffenheim. There was a little bit of panic stations at some point yesterday as a certain news story broke that the negotiations regarding the fee had kind of hit a little bit of a stalemate, like both clubs weren't agreeing. But then it did break last night, thankfully, that the deal is all but done, pending a medical, and it should be announced, it said within the next 24 hours, so hopefully today Leeds will announce the signing of Rutter from Hoffenheim. If it's not today, it should definitely be tomorrow, but I would keep an eye out on that today. Really excited. Obviously, I've said it a few times now. I think it's definitely an area of the pitch that I feel like we need to be upgrading in. I feel like the fee, we're obviously paying for the potential. I can understand why people might be saying, like, we're always paying for potential, and for 30-40 million, you want something ready-made and ready to have an impact immediately, and I get that, but in a way, can Leeds United afford to be picky at the moment? I don't think we can. Look, the kid looks talented, and I hope that he can have an immediate impact, but we'll need to give him time. Most definitely, you would think his debut would be against Brentford. A good game for him to come into. He probably won't start because it'll be hard to take Rodrigo out of the side, but hopefully Marsh can think of a way to implement him into the existing team, or he can be a very, very good competition for Rodrigo and Patrick Bamford once his legs start to work again. So yeah, as I said, keep an eye out on that for today, guys, because we could be seeing an announcement imminently. Let's move on then to Ounahi. Now, I said in my last upload that it looked like Leeds United were out of the running, but Fabrizio Romano has shared that Leeds United are still in the race for Ounahi from Angers. Now, Sky Sports News even said that two unnamed Premier League clubs were in for him. Those unnamed Premier League clubs, I believe, are us and Leicester City. Brendan Rodgers came out in a press conference, though, and said that he's happy with the squad that he's got, which would rule Leicester out of the running. So that, for me, leads to the fact that in terms of the Premier League, it's just us that are in for him. Obviously, I did mention Napoli are in for him as well, but they don't want to pay the fee that Leeds are willing to pay. But then I heard that Leeds isn't a club that he wants to go to and all that. It just sounds like a CDK situation to me. Now, whether we grow a pair and just submit a bid, take it or leave it, I don't know. But I think it would be such a great addition for that midfield area. It'd be unbelievable if we can pull both deals off. Unbelievable. Let's just talk about another player as well from Lens, Fofana. Now, this is a guy who we have been linked with in the past. Apparently, Leeds United have joined Nottingham Forest in the race to sign him. Personally, I don't see this deal coming off. I think this is just a reoccurring name, obviously, from the summer window. We didn't get him then, and there's nothing that indicates that we'll be getting him now. If we did, then great. It's amazing depth for us, but I just don't feel like... I feel like if we're going to bring anyone in the midfield, then it'll be Ounahi, fingers crossed, because he had an unbelievable World Cup. It would be great if we could bring him in. But yeah, as I said, keep an eye out on the Fofana noise. I'm sure it'll keep happening throughout the window. Seems to be just a reoccurring name like Adama Traore, Hwang Hee-chan and Noah Lang, Ryan Kent, etc. I'm surprised he's not being linked with us yet. Old Kenty from Rangers. Let's talk about a few possible outgoings now for Leeds United. Now, Leeds are set apparently to recall Charlie Creswell back from his loan spell at Millwall, as he's having a bit of a tough time at Millwall. He's struggling to get in the side now, apparently, after it started so well for him at the beginning of the season. Apparently, there's been a lot of other Championship clubs interested in taking him on loan until the end of the season. So I think Leeds are going to bring him back, evaluate the situation, and then send him back out on loan to the Championship. Which makes sense, really, because if Millwall aren't playing him for whatever reason, I can't imagine they'd have anyone better than him, personally. And I do mean disrespect towards that club. Obviously, they've got Shaqs there as well, aren't they? Jamie Shackleton, I'm not sure how he's doing. I've not really been tracking any of the progress, really, regarding Shaqs. But yeah, moving on to Joe Gellar. Apparently, there's a lot of Championship interest in him on loan for the end of the season. Swansea and Wigan are amongst the clubs, and Sunderland actually, who want to acquire him for the rest of the season. I think it makes complete sense, especially with Rutter on the verge of signing as well. It just makes him fall even further down the pecking order. Marsh at the minute seems to only be playing him in cup games or bringing him on for like 5 minutes in Premier League games. That's not going to help with his development. The Championship is a tough, hard league. It'll be good for him to go down there and apply his trade. Maybe if we'd have done what we should have done and brought a striker in the summer, then he might have had a full season in the Championship. But even if he can get, 5-6 months down in the Championship, that would be great for him. So yeah, another outgoing that I just want to touch upon is one that brings a smile to my face, if it is true. Junior Firpo. Now, it's in the news at the minute. It's certain outlets are reporting that apparently one of his former clubs, Real Betis, obviously they have just sold their left back to Aston Villa. So they're in need for a left back, and apparently Firpo is trying to push a move out of Ellen Road as he feels that Jesse Marsch is setting him up to fail. I don't think it's just Jesse Marsch that's setting him up to fail, because he played under Bielsa as well, so did he set him up to fail as well? I think it's just one of them. If we take all jokes aside, it's just one of them deals. It just hasn't worked out. Plain and simple. I remember when he first signed, I thought, left back from Barcelona, he must be good. He's been absolutely shambolic, and I would drive him to the airport myself. Yes, he had a good 20 minutes against Cardiff, but I think that's his level. Second tier football, or a league that's not as fast paced as the Premier League. He just hasn't adapted. To be fair, he's struggled with injuries and COVID in his first season last year, but even when he played, he's just shocking. He's just a really bad left back, and even if we have to take a loss on him, I don't care. Just get him out of our club, because we really don't need him. I would rather have Pascal or Ferpa at left back than have him even on our bench. So if Firpo forces a move out, then fair play to him. And obviously there's Leo Gellar as well, who is being rumoured to a loan move to Rotherham in the Championship as well. Again, another player with huge potential. I just think with the signing of Max Ferpa, obviously he'll fall down a little bit further down the pecking order. Again, really good potential, and I do think he will play in our first team one day, but he needs to get more experience, and I think a loan move to the Championship would suit Leo down to the ground. And that brings us to the end of this little transfer update on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel this morning, guys. I really hope that you've all enjoyed it. If you have, please smash that like button. It really helps me out. Also, please hit that subscribe button, because that also helps me out. And share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And have a great rest of your day. I will be back tonight with my match preview. And as we look ahead to the Aston Villa game, I'm partly dreading it, partly excited for it. Don't know what to expect, but I'll get into it more tonight. I'll try and drop it for about 7:30 tonight, guys, so make sure that you tune in for that, and I'll see you then. Cheers.